your spot in the bridal show at the Indiana Mall today.
Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up to date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Encompass More Asset Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC and only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC does not imply a certain level of skill or training. And the guys are here, Clint Smith, Galen Bargerstock. Let's get into it this morning.
WCCS.
All right, gentlemen, good morning to both of you.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. It's good to have you both with us here today as we talk about investment advice. And Clinton, you have yourself in your tiny little hand over the other way a book.
I do.
And the book is?
So a long time ago, we decided that we were going to write a book. And honestly, all of the books in our industry are super boring. It's like life insurance, chapter 1. Annuities, chapter 2, retirement, chapter 3, social security, chapter 4.
Now, some people find that really exciting stuff.
Yeah. There are some people, but usually they're the people in our industry that find it exciting. So we wanted to do something that appealed to everyone. So Galen and I actually wrote this. It came out right when COVID hit, so we never really got to do a release party. COVID kind of killed all that. But it's an awesome book. It's the story of Carl and Barb. We didn't want to do, like I said, chapter by chapter. So we came up with hypothetical characters that are basically cartoons. I mean, you can tell from the book that they're cartoons.
Hold it up.
And so with the book, our artist was Shauna Jones, who is our marketing director now, and Melissa Hauser. But it's a collection of stories about a family, Carl and Barb, and how it is that they come to work with us. They're both postal employees. The father, Pap, the kids are Emily and Jacob, and it really tells the story of what it's like as a family working with us and what it's like to go through that retirement process, to go from working to retired. So I wanted to bring that in for you.
Oh,
Here you go.
thank you.
Signed it and everything.
Thank you. Signed it and everything.
Yeah.
By golly, he did.
Yeah. Might be worth $5 on Amazon now.
Oh, it was until you signed it.
But it's an awesome book. It's actually, you would think that it would be a boring read since it's about life insurance and retirement, but we put a lot of fun into it, and it's a pretty fun read.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Hey, I see two of the main characters are named Clint and Galen.
Yep. Yeah.
Amazing. But it really is, for folks who don't have a background in it at all, to get this is sort of like a primer, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a great way to ease them into understanding how it goes working with us. And just because they're postal employees, it literally works the same way with anyone else. We still know how to go through everyone's benefits and figure out everything that they have for themselves and what to do moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about moving forward. We're in, today is actually the first day that people can file their taxes, isn't it, Gail?
It is.
It is. So folks have finance on their mind right now, and so do the two of you. Let's talk a little bit about the plans for you guys going forward in terms of what we're doing here on the radio, because there are definite plans, and they might be changing a little bit.
Yeah. So we've enjoyed coming on your show. You're amazing. I've appreciated you. Even United Way stuff. Everyone in Indiana listens to you in the morning and finds out what's going on in town. And that was where we wanted to start, starting to talk with you. We are going to be transitioning within the next couple months into our own show on Renda. Time and dates to be decided. But our plan is to actually do our own 30-minute segment on Renda where we can actually dive in deeper to more financial details than we can get in here on 15 minutes.
Yeah. And we're going to make sure that we still keep you when we can get you and grab you here. But that will give folks a chance to really dig down, won't it, Galen, onto what they have on their minds when it comes to getting themselves the correct financial advice.
Exactly, yeah. I love coming on here and talking about, general information, but we're going to have people actually call in, ask us questions that they have on their mind and address those questions. So it comes back to me saying everybody's always different. So we're going to see what everybody has, the questions on their mind and see what's out there.
All right. That being the case, you do get questions all the time, maybe not in that form just yet, but questions all the time. What are some of the most common questions people have when it comes to saving for retirement?
I think the biggest question is, do I have enough? Will that money last me for the rest of my life? That's one of the biggest questions. Am I ready to retire? It's different for everybody. And a lot of times it's better than what people think it is. It's just that is the biggest question. Is there enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, that goes even deeper than just, is there enough money? People's health plays a huge role in their deciding to retirement. I would say, I mean, he gets asked the questions more than I do, but I would say it's more about eligibility. When am I able to retire without penalty? And then after that, do I have enough to retire?
I saw we had this survey that was out last week or so, I think it was, talking about on Google Trends, for each state in the union, what's the most often asked question about when they can retire? And for Pennsylvania, it was, can I retire at age 50? A bunch of people in Pennsylvania want to retire evidently at age 50 or between 50 and 55 years of age. And that's a really specific age if somebody is aiming in that direction. But it's possible, isn't it?
It is. And retirement is on your own terms. I mean, one of the biggest trends that I see right now is people do want to jump ship and they want to retire, even if they don't have, as long as they have the years in and they can, start collecting maybe. But a lot of people just want out of what they're currently doing. And I think COVID had a lot to do with people like maybe reflecting on their lives and seeing what's important, because that is the biggest thing that I see. People are willing to get a part-time job to make ends meet in the outside world just to shake things up a little bit.
But they want to be planning right now for whatever their intended retirement date is. And as Galen said, Clint, somebody might want to retire very young, in their 40s or 50s. Others might say to themselves, I want to keep working all the way until I'm ready to step off the globe.
Yeah. We actually, I want to say this was probably even 10 years ago now, so that was pre-COVID, but it is possible. Do you know what I mean? If you have enough money saved that you're able to live off of that money until you can collect Social Security and stuff like that, there are ways to make it happen. You know who I'm thinking of, right?
No, off the top of my head.
The couple, Betty and Diane, we'll call them. Yeah. They had enough money. They were able to retire. Both of them had like $350,000 in their investment accounts, and they were able to literally just retire at like 50 and 52 years old. But it was a package deal, and there were certain things that we had to do to get them from there to Social Security age. But they had enough money in their investments that they were able to rely on that until they could move on to Social Security.
Yeah. Do most people say to themselves, all right, I just need to get up to that particular age. At that point, I'll be able to begin collecting Social Security, and therefore I can let that handle most of the burden of my expenses in daily life?
Yes, because what you said, the burden. So the burden is taken off their back, and they know they have a guaranteed income coming in for the rest of their life. So Social Security plays a huge factor. Yeah. And with federal employees getting a supplemental Social Security or a bridge until they reach that date, that's what helps them get out a lot earlier. But, like Clinton said, there's so many things you can do on the outside world to prepare for what complement what your pension and Social Security are going to do.
And having said that, of course, people that want to retire before Social Security kicks in, there are many people who work until well after Social Security has been able to kick in, and as long as they're planning correctly, they can have a really, really comfortable life, can they not?
We've met people that should have retired 20 years ago. Yeah. So we've met people
I know a few of those too.
in their 80s, So there's definitely, there's a ton of people that should have retired. Again, different for everyone. There are people that want to retire early, people that will be already maxed out their pension, already have been eligible for Social Security for 5 years.
Yeah. They just love to work.
They like working. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, but at the same time, you can help people to plan and to make the wisest investment of their money. That's really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the things that I do with pretty much every single person that sits down is I break down their Social Security age. So I'll figure out that, because a lot of people think, hey, well, if I wait till 67 or 70, I'm going to get this dollar amount, which is so much higher than, 62 or 65. But I'll do an analysis on it and tell you when your break-even point is, because if you're collecting at 62 versus 67, well, think of all that money that you could have had in the household during that time period.
Yeah.
So you might not see any more until, let's say 75, but I'll figure that exact number out when I meet with you. But, that's one of the things that you need to prep for to know how it works.
Social Security, it might go up to $300, $400 at that different age, but then you're missing all of the money you collected on in between 62 and 67 or 65.
Plus, there are plenty of people who are saying Social Security isn't even going to be around.
Yeah.
Which, the government will do something. There'll always be something that they're going to do, but finding your way to best use that to your best advantage is what it's all about. Yeah. And that's where GCS helps.
A lot of people don't even know Social Security is insurance. Yep. It's a social insurance that's there for us to make sure that older people have money and an income if they don't have any other way to do it. So it's really a social insurance. It's meant to keep the country from having a bunch of elderly people who are poor and broken, like no money, relying on their family. Yeah. It's social insurance.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what it is. And if we can just convince the government to stop taking money out of it for other purposes, we'd be in good shape. Well, gentlemen, we're just about out of time here. Folks want to know about GCS. They want to set up an appointment with you guys to talk about it. What should they do?
They can give us a call, 724-915-0000. But also, we're going to start taking questions. If anyone has any questions, can they call in here while we're live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that can happen.
I don't know what that number is.
We'll make sure that they know. You're done here today, so it doesn't really make sense to give out the numbers, but the numbers are 479-1160 or 349-WCCS.
Yeah, and we're going to start taking questions live next week. If you have questions, you can email them to us or give us a call. You can email Shauna, it's SHAWNA @gces.us, not .com. And she can get your questions via email. You can also give us a call at 724-915-0000 in between now and next Monday if you have a question, and we will answer it on air.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Guys, thanks.
Thank you so much, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS